Death has always been one of humanity's greatest mysteries. It evokes fear, sadness, contemplation, and sometimes even hope. This phenomenon lies at the crossroads of biology, philosophy, religion, and art, with every culture and era trying to find its own answer to the question, is death the end, or could it be the beginning of something new? From a scientific viewpoint, death is the physiological cessation of life processes. When the heart stops beating, blood ceases to circulate, and cells begin to decompose, the body can no longer sustain life. This makes death the ultimate end of a living organism's existence. Science does not posit an afterlife in a literal sense, but many scientists acknowledge that our understanding of human consciousness remains incomplete. Could some part of our self survive physical death? This question remains open. Most religions and spiritual teachings claim that death is not an end but a transition to another state of being. Christianity, for example, speaks of eternal life for the soul and the possibility of reunion with God. In Buddhism and Hinduism, death is part of the cycle of reincarnation, where the soul is reborn in another body until it reaches enlightenment. In Islam, death is seen as a transition to eternal life, where one's deeds determine their fate. Some indigenous cultures perceive death not as a rupture, but as a return to nature. For instance, in Native American traditions, a person dissolves into the earth, air, water, and fire after death, continuing to exist in everything that surrounds them. Philosophy has always been a field for pondering death. Existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre and Martin Heidegger consider death an essential part of human existence. They emphasize that awareness of mortality can help individuals find meaning in life and live more authentically. Stoics, such as Seneca, advise not to fear death, as it is the natural conclusion of our existence. They believe that fear of death makes us less free and prevents us from enjoying life. Modern culture often avoids discussing death, treating it as taboo. Yet, in films, books, and music, the theme of death is pervasive. It is portrayed as a tragedy, but also as a source of meaning. Without the awareness of life's end, our aspirations, dreams, and efforts might lose their weight. Interestingly, in many Eastern cultures, attitudes toward death are more relaxed and even celebratory. For instance, during Mexico's Day of the Dead, people remember their deceased loved ones with joy and honor, believing that they are still present. The question of life after death remains unresolved. Some believe in reincarnation, others in eternal life, and some think there is only emptiness after death. Accounts of people who have experienced clinical death add to the mystery. They often describe a light at the end of the tunnel, a sense of peace, or even encounters with deceased relatives. However, scientific studies do not confirm these experiences as proof of life after death. They may simply result from biochemical processes in the brain. Reflecting on death compels us to value life. If death is the end, then every moment we live becomes immensely precious. If death is the beginning, then our life is part of a larger journey. In either case, contemplating death and what follows teaches us to focus on how we live now. Perhaps, instead of fearing death, we should focus on living fully, leaving a mark on the world, and striving to be better for ourselves and others. Thank you for watching.